Hello everyone, it's Dr. Bhairavi, the Sky Priestess. So I have a very important announcement today. I have decided that on the grounds of health, I am not going to be doing any sessions at the very least till January 2025. I am also going to be pulling away from doing lives which include Hello Neighbors, sibling specials, and really video-based format for a while because these take a lot of energy to do. And I am going to instead be focusing on my own health because this is the need of the now. I know that there is a terrible, terrible imbalance in the way this community has been operating, and I have known that for some years. But Spirit has guided me to keep going, especially through these terrible years of Thereus in Virgo. And I feel like I can finally let that go, that service is completed. And I need to move into a more reciprocal and balanced engagement with those who want to be in community with me. Now, before anyone starts going on about, yes, but I have no money, how can you judge me? No, I'm not doing any such thing. I have never measured the worth of a person by their bank account, and I am not going to start. But being in engagement in community is not just about paying a $5 subscription on Substack. It is also about really doing the work for yourselves. It is also about engaging, it is about sharing, tagging, commenting, it is about keeping the community alive. And as one of you observed very astutely, I might add, there are lots of astrologers and spiritualists among you who are benefiting from the work, but there are never any referrals or any attempts to make a further connection to grow an audience, for example. So, there is something going on here which I have noticed for a long time, but I had guidance to keep going as I did, and I have finished that job. So what I am going to do is I am going to be pulling the energy that I have held in this space, because holding space also takes a tremendous amount of energy. And I am going to be focusing instead on myself and on maintaining the basics of my life. Now, I could talk a lot more about this, but you know what needs to be said has already been said. So what I am going to be focusing on is more so on articles through Substack. You can read them whether or not you have a subscription. I have no intention of making a paywall at this time. And the reason for this is because articles are also far less energetically taxing. And whilst I am away recovering, because whilst I think all of you are aware that I am facing physical disability, things have gotten very intense and they have been taken a turn for the worse. Hence the need for this decision, and also Spirit's guidance to move into a more balanced and reciprocal way of connection. Now, in response to the actual community wake-up, once again, 30-some people showed up, half of which were part of the original group that I mentioned to you that saved my butt earlier on. And I'm not just talking about people who chose to subscribe. I'm talking about people who just reached out and said, hey, I really value your work. I'm sorry I can't support financially. And you know what? That's fine. At least that's engagement. And real engagement, from a genuine place is worth something. But even that is not really happening to the extent that it should. So, if you can financially support, please do. If you don't like Substack, you can just donate to me directly via PayPal. Contact me, write a message, and you should know my Gmail by now. It's theskypriestess@gmail.com, and we can work out something different. And if you can't afford that, that's fine. Just keep growing the community and keep putting all of those lessons into practice. As Thereus enters Libra, I can tell you the community won't work as is, and I'm probably going to get violently ill if I keep carrying all of this energy without the reciprocity that is needed. Less than 10% of you replying. In fact, it's not even that, it's more like 3%. But yeah, this is, to say it is disappointing is an understatement after 11 years of work and millions of views. So things need to change. And I'm giving myself the time to see if Spirit has decided for a different path for me. And I'm giving you the time to do what you can, at the best that you can. And of course, I'm not going to run away from my natural inclination to provide guidance. That's still going to be there in Substack, and I'm going to be, putting it on the shots to show you when it comes up and putting it as a community post. But for the next 3 months or so, I'm going to be withdrawing my energy significantly from this space. I think there are also some changes that are happening in the YouTube platform as a whole, which is probably why the energy feels increasingly oppressive. Part of that is just what's happening with social media platforms. So, I hope that you can understand why I'm doing this. I know that some of you are really the sensitive people who have really benefited from the space holding that has happened. Now, I usually say I don't hold hands in sessions, but anyone who's actually sat down in a session with me knows how caring I am. I might be fierce, but there's always that care. But for those of you who feel like a sense of a vacuum, I need you to sit with yourself and just go straight into your connection with spirit. And I also want to, highlight this just so you have some perspective on why things may be feeling different in the weeks to come. Ultimately, as Thereus enters Libra, I want to weed out all connections in this community that are still persisting on the basis of unhealthy dependency, one-sidedness, and entitlement. What I really want in my space are people who care and people who are willing to do the work within themselves and to materially engage, whether it's through technological sharing, spreading the word, whether that's through finances, whether that's through both. Now, yes, I know a lot of you are like, but I send heartfelt prayers. Honey, I've been praying for all of you for 11 years. And that takes a lot of energy as well. But if you're hungry, if you're thirsty, and you have food and water in your kitchen, you're not going to be sitting there praying. You're only going to be turning to that when you don't have something. So what do? You get up and you fulfill your need. And for those of you who want to send healing, who want to do this, that, please no rituals, no prayers, no ceremonies, no healing energy sent unless I specifically ask for it. I have enough healers working on me, and right now it's a case of too many cooks. And plus, the energy will rebound. I will know about it. It's just be more work for me. If you really want to pray for me, just a heartfelt prayer to spirit is fine. But even so, you can still engage. You can still comment, you can still share, you can still do things if finances is your big obstacle. But do something. Do something. That is what I really want to see. So I'm going to be pulling back for a while. The work will continue on Substack. And for those of you who are truly aligned with it, the work will also continue in Tier 23. Now, even though Tier 23 is a lot more intense, it is actually not a cost for me to do, because everyone there has enough training and attunement to hold their own space. I know they're doing the work. There is a fair exchange. And so the activation cost for me is a lot less. But, just because it's a hardcore program doesn't mean that everyone will suit it. I've literally had to tell people who wanted to join, no, this is going to activate you too much. Please do XYZ work before joining. If that's something that you're interested in, you really need to sit in with yourself and your guides and your ancestors and to see if that is the right activation for you. Otherwise, if you just want some basic information and guidance over the next few months, stick with Substack. I'll be, sharing it in YouTube shorts and community notices to let you know when there's an article up. As I said, I'm not going to be doing videos much because videos take energy. And right now, I need to recover. I'm not going to go into how serious things are, but they are pretty bad. But I am still here, and I will do the work in the way that is most aligned that I am able to offer at this time. So there's no judgment on anyone. Everyone chooses their path. And right now, you got to choose what yours is. That's a wrap. Ciao, ciao for now. Bye-bye.